All right, so I'm recording this. All right, so let's look at this example here. The quotient of a number and 3. Okay, so what is the operation? Again, the operation means adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. So what is the word that is the operation here? Let's first identify the operation. What word is the operation? Let's try Andy this time. You can take a guess, Andy. I know it's difficult, but that's how we learn sometimes. Like we make mistakes and we correct it, and now we know. So take a guess, Andy. What word here is the operation? The one that means adding, subtracting, or multiplying or dividing. You can go ahead, Luisa.
Dividing.
Okay, quotient. The word quotient means dividing. So let me just, the word quotient means divided. How do I know that? From the table back there, okay? The table that I went over. So here we're gonna put uh so n of a number. So we don't know what number is, so we just give it an n. You can give it any letter. And the 3 is apparently 3 is the same thing as 3. So n divided by 3. So the quotient of a number and 3 means n divided by 3. So m to the 5th power divided by 6. Okay? So what's the word that means the operation here? What's the word that means the operation? That means the word that means adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Well, divided by. What does divided by means? Divide. Okay. Now, this one, m is the missing number to the 5th power. When they talk about power, that means the little number goes on top. That means basically m multiplied 5 times. That's what m to the 5th power means. Okay. So m to the 5th power divided by 6. 6 means 6. So let's just move on. I know it's just going to become practice. So you can write it like this, or you can also write it as like with a bar. Division is the same thing as a fraction. So think about fractions the same thing as division. So vice versa. So you can write it either way. So 7 times x squared. Okay, so let's identify the word that means let's identify the word that is the operation. So the word that is the operation is times. Times means the little dot, 7 means 7, and x squared. Okay, x squared. So when I say square, that means to the 2nd power. When I say cube, that means to the 3rd power. So let me write that down real quick. So square, oops, let me write another color. Square, the word square means, I'm gonna have to write it with the pencil in a minute. Cube. All right, so square means like something to the 2nd power. Cube means something to the 3rd power. So those are the things that you're going to be using in the assignment. So they talk about square is basically to the power of 2. If they talk about cube, then they're talking to the power of the 3rd. Okay, 3rd power. All right. Now let me move to the next slide. Oops. forgot to erase that real quick. Oops, clear. All right. So now here's the other example. The product of X and Y. So here, the word that means the operation is product. And what does product mean? Product means times, the little dot. Oops. My computer gets stuck. I don't know, some reason. So let's see. Come on, computer. All right. I'm moving. Okay, let me close this real quick. All right, so product means times. X means that's the missing number, and we got another missing number, but this missing number is Y. So it's a different number that represents something else. So we put it together. When you put two terms are missing numbers. When you have two terms and you're multiplying them, the way you multiply them and they come together is basically without the little dot just becomes invisible. They just get glued together. That's how you write them. So X times Y, it just becomes X to the Y. X times Y, XY. The sum of C squared and 21 times D. So this is multiple things at once. So let's translate sum. Sum means in square, we already know that square is going to be to the second power, and then times also means multiplication. So adding here, C squared means to the power of 2, 21 times D. So we got a number times, whenever there's a missing number and you're multiplying them, you just glue them together with the other one. So 21 glued together with the D, since times glues things together, it just becomes 21D. So let's put this together. So we get C squared plus 21D, or you could have put 21D plus C squared. So when you're summing something, the order does not matter. So what does that mean? The order does not matter. So let's say, let me give you an example. Okay, 1 plus 2. What's 1 plus 2, Andy? I just want to make sure you're awake. What's 1 plus 2?
3.
Okay. What about if I put 2 plus 1? What's the answer for that? Libitza.
3.
Okay, so the order does not matter when you're adding, right? So that's why I said that you could have put 21D in the front and C squared in the back. Okay, so we're gonna actually talk about that, about order, in another later on in the class. All right, so let me clear everything here. All right, so let me just close this real quick. And now what I'm gonna do is, since you guys are paying attention, is I'm gonna help you with the assignment because it is a little bit tricky, okay? So let me actually close this whiteboard and close that. And there's also a video that I want you to actually look at it because it's gonna go more in details. But I'm gonna skip on it right now. I just want to go directly to the assignment here, and I'm gonna help you with this because it is a little bit tricky. I know you guys look at it like this. So we're gonna start. So on this one, on the first problem, it says to translate the algebra expression. So basically, translate the words into symbols. Okay, but in this one, it says the difference between 10 and u. So here, this just says difference equals what? And then you're supposed to choose the answers. So let's see. And if you put on the arrow, then you can choose the answers. So the difference between 10 and u, what does the difference means? Does it mean adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Let's start with Andy. What does difference mean? So here's the choices. Difference means adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Luisa, you want to try it?
Subtracting.
Yeah. And how do you know that? You can go back to the lessons. As a matter of fact, let me just keep it open. So I'm going to open another tab and I'm going to go log into Schoology again. And we're in pre-algebra. If you do this, I know it takes a little longer to do this, but you'll do much better in the assignments. And you don't have to take notes. So it's actually going to save you more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open the lesson so I can just have it open to go back and read that table. So what table am I talking about? Well, the table right here where all the answers are at, not this one, this one. Okay. So here I have the assignment open. I mean the lesson open, and here I have my assignment. So we said it was subtract. So let's move on to number 2. What does the sum mean? So I have the sum of 18 and a number. But all I want you to do is translate what sum means. If you click on the little arrow, you see the choices. The sum means add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Andy? I think he left. All right. So what does that mean? Adding, right? Okay. So let's move on to another problem. So let's see if I can show you something that is different. So this is pretty easy, right? You just need a table right here, right? To basically know what the answers are. So here, increase 74 increased by 3 times. So again, here you're going to have just multiple choices, okay? Let me see if I can move on to the next one. I wanted to show you something. Oh, yeah, this one. So here we have 5 to the third. I want you to translate that into, now we're going to go from symbols to actually words. So what does 5 to the third means?
5 times 3.
5 times 3, but what's the best answer possible? It's not 5 times 3, I'm sorry. That's wrong. 5 times 3 means this. Look, let me show you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
5 times 3 means 5 times 3. 5 to the third power means 5 cubed. That means you multiply 5 times 5 times 5. So it's not the same thing as 5 times 3. I almost got confused too. I was thinking about,
You got me confused.
I know. So that's why I wanted to go over this assignment because it might be a little confusing, right? So it's actually the answer will be 5 cubed. So let's move on to something else. So increase, I'm going to skip that one because we already know that's, that one. Translate this. So what does 23F mean? How do you translate that into words? Well, 23 what? How do we get 23 attached to the F, glued to the F? What glues it together?
What glues them together?
Yeah.
Like addition or?
What glues it together is the times. So let me show you that. So
Oh, like you said on the other one, when there's nothing, you put it together.
yeah, so
Yeah.
times always glues it together. Okay, so when you see 23F or you have DF or anything together, glued together, is because there was a times right there, or there is a times in front of it. So that's what you do. So 23 times F, that's what it means, 23F.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, then move on to the next one. Okay, translate the algebra expression into, so here I want you to translate everything into words. So so X, so a number, so you can call it a number. A number, what do you want to call it? So that we got choices here. So you can choose a lot of things, different things. So division could be a lot of things. So what do you want to call it? So we got a number, which is the X. And then what do you want to call it? You got multiple choices here. So why don't we call it something that is used mostly, let's say a number per, let's see, a number per, let's just use per, a number per 18. That's it. You can use other words that were here. You could say divided by, a number divided by 18, or a number over 18, or a number quotient 18, or a number ratio of 18. Okay,
Okay.
let's see if I can go to the last one. Okay, so how will you translate this one? So let's just call it a number B, or you could say a number, but I'm going to call it a number B. So what is some anything that has a second power? What do we usually call it? A number or what? Finish it. Square. So a number B square, right?
Yeah.
Subtracted, or you could say uh, the number B square subtracted. You could say subtracted. That's one of the things that you could say. Subtracted by
3.
3. What? When
3
they're
and
glued together, 3 times
C.
a number C, right? The times is what glues the 3 and the C together, right? So always remember, the only thing that glues things together is the times. So
Sure.
you,
So the square is like what's on top, like the 2. So,
yeah,
so another word for it, wouldn't it be like power?
yeah, you could have said B to the power of 2.
Okay.
Okay. The other one is uh, the other word that is commonly used is the cube. Cube is to the power of 3.
Yeah.
But I want
Wow.
you to, I
That was
want,
the thing. I never heard cube before.
yeah, well, cube, just think about a cube. It has like a cube is a volume, right? A cube is a volume. So it has length, width, and height. So it has 3 dimensions. So that's what a cube is. And that's what and then the square is a 2 dimensional. It has just length and height. So think about that when you're thinking about powers.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, cube means the third power. So when you go to college, I just want you to become familiar. When they talk about square or cube, they're actually talking about, power of the second and power of the third. The other stuff to the fourth power, to the fifth power, they actually will say that. Okay. So I just don't want you to get confused. So most of the word problems will start with something b square, and then people don't know what it means because the teacher never actually explained that square means to the second power. So I want to make sure I do that.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna finish the assignment. The other assignment that is here is actually not that difficult. Okay? And I think I scared Andy because he's not here. My bad. I should call him. It's okay to be wrong though. I'm always make mistakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this assignment was a little difficult, but it's very important for you guys to understand. Okay?
Okay.
You were not in my math class last time, huh?
Yes.
What class were you on?
Pre-algebra A.
Okay, so this class is gonna be. I didn't really change anything, honestly. I did not change anything. The only thing that might change is the APTs because a lot of people didn't do very well. So I'm basically repeating the same thing because there's really nothing else that I can. It's algebra, like pre-algebra, right? I don't know why they have a pre-algebra A and a B. It's just pre-algebra. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I really can't make it like the only thing that's gonna be different is probably the APTs. So it's a good thing for you because you already passed it. So the assignments are going to be similar, but this time you're going to actually do better. Since I'm repeating the same thing, my hope is that you guys will now retain it because you heard it before. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're good to go. Finish the assignment, and if you have any questions, just text me um, and I'll come back to soon.
These are due on Sunday as well?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to wait until Sunday, right? Because
No.
if you wait to Sunday, that means you have to wait till. I mean, I could grade it before that.
You
Just
know I always turn everything in Trigo.
I know you do. So I just say Sunday because I don't want to give extensions anymore like I did last time. It just people just no matter how many extensions I gave them, they still
Mhm.
didn't finish. So
Okay.
Sundays are gonna be the days. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.